I've lost my job. I don't know when it's going to start back up again. And I don't want to go outside because I don't know what to do. So what are the steps in the crisis intervention to de-escalate the situation?
These steps were created by the FBI, and they are really used in negotiation. They're used now, honestly, throughout the entire country, whether it's by teachers or first responders, law enforcement, any time that we're trying to de-escalate somebody from a very intense situation. And so there are all sorts of feelings and thoughts and emotions that are going on. Crisis intervention de-escalation skills, the verbal skills to be able to help de-escalate somebody. They're phenomenal skills if we can just learn them. So the first one, of course, is active listening. And that is a huge step. It's not pretending we're listening to somebody while we're doing something else. I mean, it really is. For this moment in time, you are the most important person in my life. And then we go on to how do we show empathy for what the person's going through. And then we move on to making a real connection with somebody. So it means it's got to be real, it's got to be honest, it's got to be authentic. And then we start thinking of options. What are the different options we could do with whatever it is that is the pressing issue right now that's causing the crisis? And the final one is the behavioral change, where you can honestly see that somebody has started to calm down. They've taken a breath. They've gone from pacing to standing. They've gone from standing to sitting. Where you can honestly see that, okay, this person has calmed down enough to begin to listen to reason.
So that sounds wonderful. How do we start this? What is step one?
So step one truly is active listening. I know we all think we listen to each other in our daily lives, but we don't really, because it means for that moment in time, you are the most important person in my life, and you have my full and undivided attention. And I'm not only listening to what you're saying, but I'm also paying attention to your tone of voice and your body language. So you're an actress, Sophie. Why don't you give me an example of what you might be going through right now?
I don't know what to do. I've lost my job. I don't know when it's going to start back up again. And I don't want to go outside because if I get this, I have asthma. And I don't know how I would pay for it with my job gone. I don't know what to do.
It's essential that I show you that I am listening to you. And how do I do that? Repeating back what somebody says, even if it's just the last couple of words. Okay, you're without a paycheck. And maybe say that almost like a question. You're without a paycheck? That would encourage you to say even more about how does that feel that I don't even have a paycheck right now. You have asthma? Yes, I have asthma. I'm terrified about what's going to happen if I get sick. That type of thing where we're repeating back to somebody what they said. You don't have to repeat back the whole thing, though you certainly can. Do I really understand this correctly? This is what's going on in your life. But I can just take bits and pieces of it. And by lifting my voice up, I can make it more encouraging for you to tell me more. And that's what active listening really is. Paying attention to your tone of voice, to what you say, to your body language, so that I really pick up on clues as to what's really, really going on with you. When a person's in a crisis, they might be talking very fast, almost frantic. Or they might be talking very slowly, or not talking at all. I guarantee you that their understanding of what you say is going to be very, very slow. They need time to comprehend what you're saying. The body language of somebody, if they're in very intense pain, could be closing in. All the things that I would pick up on when I am actively listening to somebody in a crisis. And I would encourage the person to talk more. You are talking, you are telling your story. When we're distraught, thoughts and words, they don't come out necessarily in a linear format. If you're going to tell me a story of what happened to you, it's probably going to come out, then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. It'll come out jagged. They'll remember this, they'll remember that, they'll remember that, and they will definitely remember what came through the senses. I felt this, I heard this, I saw this. Time and the linear format of how it actually happened, it's not going to come out in a linear way. So the logical time frame is going to come out later. So that's why in active listening, you really have to pick up on the clues that somebody is saying within probably their very jumbled storyline. The simplest way to explain it is for this moment in time, I'm not paying attention to my dog or to dinner on the stove, to the phone ringing, to the ding on my text message. I am not paying attention to anything other than you. And that is active listening.